making moves today. So I appreciate your time and I want to be intentional with your time. If you're a first timer inside of the Pinterest room, definitely don't make it your last. Click the greenhouse above my head and join the 6,000 members on these clubhouse streets that are inside of the Pinterest room. That makes us the largest Pinterest club on these clubhouse streets, honey. So I'm super excited to be able to talk to you today. And I am offering the Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp only to the members inside of the Pinterest room and also the members that are inside of my private Facebook group that have already gone through it again. I have members that have gone through it over and over and over again. And I want to tell you that when you sign up for the Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp once, that's it. You're in the community. Every time I run this, you're in it. You get it. You do not have to pay to take it over and over again. So that's one of the bonuses. And the reason why is because your success matters. And the only way that you can really succeed at anything is to touch it, is through repetition, is through testing things out, is through hearing things over and over again and finding out what resonates with you. So I want to make sure that I'm offering this as often as I can and making it as accessible because this is the absolute lowest price point that you can work with me, right? And I want to make sure that when you do that, I say thank you by continuing to educate you on the foundation of your business Pinterest account, how you're setting it up, and helping you to come to those aha moments. So let me introduce myself. I'm Paula Marie. I am the Ebony Biz Diva. I am the creator of the Pinterest Room on Clubhouse, which I said before has over 6,000 members. I'm excited about that because we be popping inside. In 2021, we had some amazing topics. I've worked with some amazing other Pinterest strategists and experts, and we're going to continue to do the same thing this year. Also, I'm a business coach and my focus is Pinterest. But in order for you to really land on Pinterest, like with both feet on the ground, squared up, right, ready to go, your images have to be amazing. They have to attract. Your video content has to resonate and pique interest. It has to educate and it has to inform. And we also need to show up in these internet streets. So your SEO game has to be on fire. Those are the three things that I focus on, and I focus on these things inside of a different my academy. So if you're interested in that, just hit me up on the side. But today we're talking about the Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp. It starts on Monday. And what happens inside of the Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp is that we have 4 sessions, an hour long, where I'm teaching you the basics and the foundation. You know, if you've set up your business Pinterest and it's not popping, this bootcamp is perfect for you as well, because this is a chance for you to realign your head on how you've been using Pinterest, what you did incorrectly in the setup, and all of the new things that have popped off on Pinterest in the last 4 to 5 months, which is the last time I ran this boot camp. Every time I teach it, there's something new that I teach because the platform is always evolving, growing, and changing with you. And I was sitting here going through the boot camp and rejushing all of the new things, the newness of Pinterest, right? And I came up with these 3 reasons why people aren't being successful on the platform. There's 3 main reasons. That's every time I do a room, every time I coach a person, every time I do an inquiry call and they're interested in Pinterest, these one or more of these 3 things pop off. So I wanted to bring this to your attention because when you know more, you do more. When you know better, you do better, right? And sometimes we make things bigger, better, more when it's really those really simple things that are going to help us to really grow in a certain way. It's just a simple thing. It's just a simple shift. It's just a simple turn, right? It's just a simple tweak. Hey, Britt, how are you? Miss Chef, Therese, Gabby, Poma, Susan, Fresh. I love that name. Gladys and Shayla, thank you for being inside of the Listening Lounge live. So, again, we're only going to be here for 30 minutes. We have about 21 left, and I want to make sure I'm answering your questions. So, if you have Pinterest questions that you want to ask, definitely raise your hand now so that you'll already be in queue when I'm ready to pull you up. Now, the first reason, and this is not in order of importance, it's just first on my list. Okay. The first reason why Pinterest may not be working for you and your business is because you're not set up accurately. There's some things you're missing. There's some pieces that you overlooked in the setup because it didn't resonate with you. You didn't understand it. You didn't have someone to say, hey, I have a question about that. So when we miss pieces or we say, hey, we'll come back to it, and we don't come back to it, the algorithm is already churning and moving our content according to how we're set up or not. And so if you're not set up accurately, for example, if you're not claiming the accounts that you use the most, then Pinterest isn't giving you credit for those pieces of content that's coming from that particular area. For example, a lot of my clients are on Instagram, but they're not claiming their Instagram as an account on their Pinterest business account. What does that mean? It means that anybody can snatch your content and say that it's yours. But if you didn't claim it as yours, then it doesn't belong to you. And Pinterest has really changed the game in the last like 6 months to make sure that they've heard us. We as creators went to them and we said, look, you want us to create all this fresh content. You want us to create all this new and popping content, but people are snatching my content. People are using my content as their own. How are you protecting the content that I'm spending so much time and energy to create on your platform? How are you honoring the thing that you want us to honor for you? So they came up with a system of claiming your actual websites. This means that if you say it's yours and the content comes from you, right? If someone else snatches your content, they can't be eliminated off the platform. Like Pinterest is a boss. They're not playing. Pinterest is not the platform that says we're going to figure it out as we go. Pinterest is the platform that says, okay, this is what you need. Let's go to the drawing board and figure out how to service that. Okay, when you wake up in the morning, it's done. They don't give no explanations. Like when I tell you they are bossed up, they are bossed up. So if you're not doing that and someone else is snatching your content all willy-nilly, it's your fault because you're not using the platform tools to the maximum capacity to A, be able to protect the content, and two, to be able to leverage your content quicker and further through the algorithm. So please be aware that all of the new tools that are popping off in Pinterest, you can't ignore them because you don't understand them. We just have to learn them, right? This is our time to learn them. So we need to learn them. Now, the second thing, and let me see, let me bring some, I see a hand in the audience. All right, I'm gonna bring you up, Queen, but I'm gonna finish my 2 points. Please come up to the stage and mute your mic. Courtney's here. Hey, Courtney, Jazz, Yanab, and Marcia. Hey, Marcia, how are you? Now, I'm going to say Courtney is already in the Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp private community. So when we run the Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp starting on Monday, she's already in it. All she has to do is show up, right? Because she's already part of my tribe. And so make sure if you're interested, click the link that's in the description to get more information. Also, make sure that you click the link that is above the head if you're in the listening lounge, because I want to make sure that you get in. And I forgot to put the coupon code in. The coupon code is simply JAN 2022. JAN 2022. When you put that coupon code in, your $47 goes down to $27. I don't know how else to make it easier for you people. I don't know what else to do for you. You want me to spoon feed you too? You want me to come and take your laptop and open it up and turn it on and you Y'all know how I go. Alrighty. So let me go to number 2, because number 1 on my list was that you're just not using the tools effectively. You're not updating yourself on all the latest and the greatest that are inside of Pinterest, and all the things that they're putting down, you're not picking up. That's number 1. Number 2 is that if you're not set up accurately, right, then you're not able to use those tools effectively. And your content may not be resonating for Pinterest using those new tools, right? So if you're taking content from Facebook or YouTube and you're repurposing it onto Pinterest, there's a certain way that you want to do that. Pinterest has already said in the last 4 months, we want people to stay on the platform. We want people to play inside of Pinterest a little bit more. We're giving you the tools to be able to put a pin and post that pin with a link that takes them off the platform. We're already vetting the websites that you're taking our clients, our prospective members, our over 500 million monthly users. We're vetting your websites to make sure they're real websites, that they're viable, okay? But we want you to create more inside of Pinterest. And you're probably thinking, well, how in the world do I do that? That sounds like a lot more work. Really isn't. It really isn't. It's all about how to finesse what you've already created and how to stay in alignment with the guidelines of Pinterest to make sure that the algorithm moves your content through those Pinterest streets. Because remember, it is a search engine. So the effort that you place on Pinterest, I feel, should be tenfold more than what you place on an Instagram. The shelf life of your content on Instagram now that they are allowing keywords and they are using keywords a little bit more has gone up, but it cannot outsurpass Pinterest. It just can't. And the reason why is because Pinterest is the third largest search engine. The other thing is that Pinterest is Google's bay. Okay. Google is number 1. YouTube is number 2, and Pinterest is number 3. Now, we know that Google is in love with himself some Pinterest, okay? Because Pinterest is that Southern Belle. And when you pull up things on Google, I want you to look and see how many pieces of content are driving you back to Pinterest, that they're picking up from Pinterest in terms of articles, in terms of imaging, in terms of even video content with the video pins, right? And the idea pins. So I want you to just be aware and resonate that you cannot outperform a search engine. A social media platform cannot outperform a search engine. So your content has to be search engine ready. And the reason I say that is because every time somebody goes on a search engine and types in a keyword that resonates with your brand, that's relevant and relative to your brand, your product, your service, you're going to pop up. Not only are you going to pop up on the search, but if that user has not opted out to receive email additional pins, then pins are emailed to them based off of the last thing they searched for. And then lastly, when they pop back up on the platform, the last thing they search for, Pinterest is going to have more fresh pins for relevant and relative to that search waiting for them when they log back in. I don't know no Instagram, no Facebook, no other that's doing that. I'm sorry. Now, I love me some Instagram and I love me some Facebook. But they ain't doing none of that. Okay. Let me take a sip. Palma, how you been? How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody. I've been great. How have you been? I'm loving the content that you're sharing in your room. I find it very, very useful because Pinterest has changed. And so it's great to have these tips and updates. It's not what it used to be a couple of months back. So this is really awesome. I'm grateful. I just want to say thank you for sharing all this amazing information.
Yo, thank you so much, because this is the thing when it comes to Pinterest, and we're in the new year, right? We rejudged. We got New Year's resolutions for our businesses. We have New Year's resolutions for our money. like our money hopes, our money goals, our money dreams, right? That means that we've got to start being a little bit more or a whole lot more intentional about the tools we said we were going to use. And if we said we were going to use Pinterest, if we said we're going to use Pinterest and you are in the Pinterest room, so you're not here just by happenstance, then that means Pinterest is on your list. It's one of your goals to help you meet that money goal, that revenue goal. So we've got to understand a little bit about the Pinterest psychology of how it's going to work. Hey, Peach, how are you? Now, Peach is in the listening lounge. Let me tell you, this is a YouTube queen. And I always love my people that I've met on these clubhouse streets because I've met so many amazing, beautiful people. So let me tell you this. I already told you there are 3 major search engines. There's Google, there's YouTube. I'm going to need every one of you to follow Peach. I'm going to need you to follow her because her rooms are phenomenal. If you want to get that YouTube game together, that's who you need to be following, right? And you can absolutely repurpose content and grow your YouTube channel using Pinterest. Again, it goes to the type of content that you are using on the platform and how you show up on the platform. They've already said they want you to play in it more. It doesn't take more work. It just takes you actually less work to show up on multiple different platforms. So I want to make sure you win in 2022. It's not about the Paula show. I always network and collaborate with other entrepreneurs that are and other experts that know more than me in a different area, because you may be interested in really getting your YouTube game together. I know that's one of my goals for 2022. I started hot and heavy and then I petered out. So make sure you follow Peach. So I just want to do a summary and recap the room. For those of you that are just joining, I'm Paula Marie. I am the creator of the Pinterest Room. We are live inside of Clubhouse, YouTube, and on Facebook right now. We're talking about the 3 reasons why Pinterest ain't working for you. Okay, the 3 reasons why Pinterest ain't working for you. And I want you to think about this. I'm not throwing daggers. I'm actually loving on you right now. I'm loving on you because I need you to be honest. I need you to be honest because sometimes you want to go in and use a platform the way you want to instead of the way the platform wants to be used. It's kind of like a relationship, y'all. Let me take a sip. It's a relationship. You know, you ever been in a relationship where you want to be treated a certain way in that relationship, but they want to treat you the way they want to treat you, right? Don't work out well for you. Pinterest is the same. Okay. She is the Southern Belle of all search engine platforms. You can't go up and treat her like a regular, smegular social media platform. She ain't taking that. Okay. Let me tell you something about us Southern Belles. We ain't playing them games. So the first thing I talked about was that your accounts aren't set up accurately. The second thing that I talked about was that you're not using the tools effectively and your content isn't formatting right for how Pinterest intends and wants to be used. You've got to switch your content up slightly. Let me take a sip. I have a horrible cough, y'all. I think I'll make it. Let me try to get through this last one. The last one is that you're not on it. You're not on it. You set it up, but you didn't use it. You signed up for it, but you didn't learn. You posted things on it, but you weren't consistent. You're not on it. You're not on the platform. You dismissed it. You dismissed the opportunity to show up in front of people who are looking for you. Because remember, nothing moves on a search engine until you type something in. Once you type something in, it starts to learn you. So it starts to show you more and more and more things. And because Pinterest is that search engine, you may not show up the first time, but what if you show up the third time? What if you don't show up the first time they're looking for you, but you show up in their email inbox as some of the pins that they were looking for that they missed? What if you show up as the third time when they log back in to look for something else, but Pinterest already has you positioned to show up when they log in? You're not showing up. You're not giving it the time and the attention. So I want to ask if anybody's brave enough from the listening lounge to come up. Let me know if any of these things resonate with you. Let me know. Or do you think you're set up correctly? Are you using the new tools and understanding? Right? Are you creating content and formatting it for the platform? Are you showing up consistently? I'm not talking about hot and heavy, 3 months ago, and then you let it go, and then hot and heavy again, because that's not really how search engines work. And there's a finesse to how you can create content from old content. And we're going to talk about that inside the Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp. Paula, you on mic, Queen. Did you have something to add?
I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut in. I wanted you to finish first. I had a quick question about the claiming your site. I think you mentioned that in your points, and I wanted to clarify, is it you linking your website to Pinterest? Because Pinterest asks you to do that. I think middle of last year, it became almost mandatory. Like if you wanted to see traffic or get any traction with like posts and content that you're liking or interacting with, you had to link your website to your Pinterest. So I wanted to know if it's that or there's a separate link for Instagram. And also, like in terms of the new algorithm change,
let me answer the first question, Poma. Let me answer the first question. Yes, you would link your Instagram just like you would claim your YouTube channel, just like you would claim your website. You would go into your backend portal and you would claim all of the sites that are relevant, that's your real estate, especially if you're going to be sharing content from that particular site, which a lot of creators do. And the reason why is that they have this system where they can look at an image to tell one if it's a fresh, new image, right? If it's something that was created by you. So let's say your graphic designers create an image, you post it on Instagram, somebody snatches it off Instagram and they use it. Because they used it first, then they kind of get the ownership of it. But if you've claimed your website, your Instagram, for example, and it came from there, then you can say, hey, Paula has my image on her site. You can literally like click a button and just report it. They can verify that it came from your verified claimed Instagram, and that creator that took that image from you can get their account suspended or deleted. So it's super important that you claim all of your websites. There's actually and it's very important that you even have a business Pinterest account from the jump. You would be surprised how many people have a personal and they haven't converted it to a business Pinterest account. So that's the answer to the first question. Good question. What's the next?
Thank you very much for the answer to the first one. The second one was just linked to engagement. Since the algorithm changed, I noticed Pinterest, when you check your like analytics, like you check your stats, there's a different it's reporting the traffic stats differently. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Initially, it just used to be like lots of impressions, and so you check your stats, and then you see that you've had a ton of like views, maybe not so much of a great click-through rate, but you notice that people have seen whatever you posted. But I think they changed that, so now it doesn't appear to be the same. So it's like your engagement has taken a hit, and it looks like you're not getting as much monthly views or as much click-throughs as you used to. So I just wanted to know if you have any pointers, that you could use to just get more engagement, like maybe frequency of posting times, cycling through content. I know everybody kind of does it differently. So what would be your take on that? Thank you, and I'm done speaking.
Yeah, so in October, there was a huge shift in how Pinterest algorithm moves our content through space. There was a dip, a huge dip in that. And when I say a huge dip, I mean a huge dip. And it's not just Paula. I'm in a community, and if you've been in the Pinterest room before, you know that I work with a lot of different Pinterest strategists. We collaborate, we chat, we have our own separate chat. We're just comparing notes and asking questions and bouncing things off of each other. And we all experience the same thing, not only with our own accounts, but in the accounts of the clients that we manage and that we service. So in October, something happened. I can't tell you what that is. They have not told us what that thing is, right? But I will tell you that as of October, there was a huge shift in the algorithm of Pinterest and how they are moving content. And then also the analytics changed. So your impressions dropped incredibly. And the impressions is the number of times that someone sees your content. So before you could say, oh, I'm getting like 10,000 impressions on my particular piece of content. That means that 10,000 pairs of eyes like saw your content, which is huge, right? I'm not getting as many clicks, right? That could also be how your funnel is set up inside. It could also be how your SEO is listed. It also could be in the copy of what you're placing inside of your actual pins. And one of the bonuses that come with the Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp, you can upgrade to receive a workshop on copy and how to create words a certain way so that it attracts, because that's important. You can't use the same copy for Instagram that you can for Pinterest. It just moves different on a search engine than it does on a social media platform. So to answer your question, in October, there was a huge dip. Now we have to look at our analytics a lot differently. We'll be talking about analytics on day 4 of the Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp, because that's important. You need to know how to go in and look at your stats. And then in addition to that, you'll be able to ask questions throughout. And if you want eyes on your specific accounts throughout that boot camp, that's where the upgrade is available to you, so that you can jump into the Pinterest lounge, where immediately after we finish the boot camp each day, everyone who's in VIP is going to be able to ask their questions. Whatever their questions are pertaining to their Pinterest business accounts, we can open it up. We're going to look at it. We're going to analyze it. It's going to be, that is the best part of the boot camp. It's my favorite part of the boot camp, because I'm able to really help you understand by answering your questions specifically and not generalizing for everyone in the room. So October is when it happened. There's a huge shift. All of the things that you listed are ways that you can combat that, but also understanding how to read your analytics now since October, I don't know what I'm going to call it, the October saga. That's what the October saga. That's what's going to help you to understand how to reprogram your Pinterest brain.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the pointers.
Courtney is here. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, happy New Year.
Courtney's always so calm, cool, and collected, I tell you. Did you have a question or an ad, Courtney?
Yeah, I have a question. You're probably gonna fuss at me, but I'm one of those people that were in and out of Pinterest for a minute, and I noticed the last time I was in there like regularly, they had the feature with the idea pins that you could add a link to like an Amazon store or your own website, and so I'm trying to get back into it now, and I noticed that option is no longer available. And so I was wondering, is something they changed? Is something wrong on my end?
So the thing of it is when it comes to linking idea pins, they're testing that thing out. And so you've been inside of the Pinterest Your Brand Boot Camp enough to know that sometimes we'll go in and we've got a feature and then we come back and then we don't have a feature. And so they're testing out exactly how they want that thing to work. The purpose of the idea pin is literally to give people an idea so that they can learn more by going onto your Pinterest account and digging through your board. So that's why the last frame of your idea pin should simply say to learn more, follow me at, and it should be your at account on Pinterest because the goal is to keep people on the platform a little bit more and digging through pins. Very similar to YouTube. When you're on YouTube, what happens? You're watching a video pops up, a little name pops up at the top of a suggested video that is similar to that you should check out. When you finish that video, there's another video that starts that's similar to that particular video content. And for the most part, it should be from that particular YouTube creator. So it keeps you inside of that creator's YouTube video studio. So Pinterest also wants to align themselves in the same way. So with the tools, they want you to send people into your boards, onto your business Pinterest account, because then we can really dig into like where we want people to go. Do we want people to go off to your website? Do we want people to go off to download a freebie? Where do we want people to go? And the other thing that I stress day one is that just because Pinterest has links doesn't mean every link needs to go to a purchase option. It should not. Every link should not go to a purchase option. Because how many times have you clicked on a link from somebody you didn't know anything about and they sent you to a sales page and you pulled out your credit card and you purchased? How many times? So the finesse of Pinterest is what needs to be retaught, because the finesse of Pinterest is what's going to get you real dedicated clients, and it's also going to help you grow your list. Your money resides in your email list. That is the theme of 2022. If you don't have an email list, Pinterest is how you get your email list game up. Also, it's how you nurture these clients that want to know more about you. And it's also how you can convert a cold client who knows nothing about you, but wants to know more about your product and service and jumps on your list. Now you can convert them slowly into a paid customer. And once they're on your list and they pay once, they can pay again and again and again. So the finesse of the nurture is what we are going to be teaching in 2022 when it comes to that. So when it comes to your idea pins, the goal is not to have them click off, because remember, Pinterest over the last 4 to 5 months wants us to keep people on the platform. So your idea pins are meant to take people to your boards so that they can dig deeper to fall in love with you, connect with you, want to know more about you, start to trust you as the expert. So that's why it's important for you to have lots of different types of content that resonates with your audience. Did that answer your question, Courtney?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
All righty. Those are good questions. Hey, Kimberly and Anna, Nicole, Viviana, Amber is here, Lanita, Nicole, Rhonda. Thank you for joining the Pinterest room. If this is your first time here, definitely hit that greenhouse above our head so that you can join the over 6,000 members that have joined the Pinterest room in the 2021. My goal is to double that in 2022. I don't know, but that's my goal. I'm saying it out loud. I want to recap really quickly. We are launching, I always say we, right? Like there's a whole team back here. It's just me. I am launching the Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp in only 2 spaces. Inside of the Pinterest room, I'm letting you know, okay? And inside of my private community on Facebook, which is the Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp Facebook group. It will be live inside of the group. You will get access to the replays. If you're not able to be there live, this is what I tell you. The replays will be available in the group so you can watch them at your leisure. Also, once you're a member of the Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp group, you're in the group. Every time I rerun this, you are in the group. You are already positioned. You will get it over and over again. This is the year of repetition. This is the year that I want you to touch it. This is the year I want you to test things out. This is the year that I want you to be unafraid to go balls to the walls with how you think about attracting new people to your platforms, to your websites. Get them on your email list. Understand the finesse of nurturing. So it's unadvertised. If you look on my Instagram, you won't see anything. I posted one little thing, but you got to watch the whole video in order to get the little blip at the end. I'm not advertising this to the public. This is my gift to you. If you sign up and use the code JAN 2022, Jan for January 2022, then you will get an additional $20 off of the $47 fee to join. Also, the VIP is where all of your private coaching resides. Inside of the VIP, each and every day after each session, we will close down our screens and go live inside of our private Zoom where you can ask me any questions you want. We'll open up your accounts. We'll talk about your marketing. We'll talk about your branding. We'll talk about your keyword strategy game. This is where you get access to me each and every day for 5 days. Not only that, there are additional bonuses that are only available to you inside of the VIP upgrade. Number one, you're going to get a coaching session that goes over how to create copy that converts, the words that you're using inside of your Pinterest. This is not only relative to Pinterest, this is also going to help you with your website. It's going to help you with your Instagram and your Facebook. How are you using words, right? It's going to change how your brain even thinks about how to create copy, what you want to sound like. What points do you want resonating with your clients? So that's one of the bonus workshops. I am also, let me save me for last. The third workshop that you're getting on day 3 of the VIP is going to be a session on how to repurpose your TikToks and your Reels to those idea pins. Now, Courtney asked about idea pins, and idea pins have changed significantly in the last 4 months. I have not ran this boot camp since August, the first week of August. Do you know every time I run this boot camp, there's something different that I'm teaching? That's why when you're in it, you're in it. That's why when you sign up and you're in the community, you get to do it over and over every time I do it, because that is the only way you're going to keep up with the updates and the upgrades of the platform of Pinterest. So we're going to talk about that. But then on Saturday, in the middle of this, I'm going to give you a 2-hour Plan Your 2022 Marketing Calendar workshop. And when I tell you we're going to go into the weeds, it comes with a money plan Excel sheet, because you cannot plan marketing if you do not have money on top of mind. You have to align your marketing goals with your revenue goals. You have to align what time looks like for you to be able to do all the things that you want to do. And you're going to find there's going to be some things you have to kick to the curb because they're not as important. We're going to get super intentional. That is the bonus to you. You've got 3 bonuses in the VIP upgrade. I want to make sure that you're aware of that, because when you sign up, you're going to have the option to add VIP or let it go. So I want you to understand those VIP upgrades are only available to you when you are opting in to the VIP option when you sign up. Do not forget your coupon code of JAN for January. The number's 2022 to get those $20 off. Because I know it's my birthday month, y'all. It's still Capricorn season. I'm still feeling good. I'm trying to spread the love. Nasir is here. Hello. Welcome to the Pinterest room. So I want to recap really quickly. We're talking about the 3 reasons why Pinterest ain't working for you. I should have put the word ain't. I was being politically correct, but y'all know how I get down. Ain't working for you. Okay. I love it. So the number 1 reason on my list is that you're not set up accurately. I'm talking about claimed websites. Poma asked about claimed websites. Nicole, I see you. Welcome to the Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp. She just signed up. We talked about why we're not using the new systems and strategies, right? The new tools that Pinterest has added in the last 4 months. Let me tell you about 2021 and Pinterest, honey. They not playing. Pinterest said, okay, we hear you, we see you. We're going to update and we're going to upgrade. They just changed things behind the scenes. And I've been on stages on Clubhouse with some of the staff from Pinterest. So that's how amazing this platform is that they come inside the Pinterest room. I've been in other Pinterest clubs where they've been in the audience and they've come up on stage and they were gracious enough to give us some behind the scenes intel. So please understand that Pinterest is boots on the ground, listening to all the things that we're asking for. They're listening to all the things you're asking for, and they are making those changes in the tools that they're creating. Now, with any platform, when they have a new tool out and you don't use it, the algorithm suppresses your content. I'm going to say that again. If you're not using all the latest and the greatest tools, you're not going to be top of the crop of getting your content seen by as many people. You know, they're flexing all of the money and the investment and the time of creating new tools for you. They want you to touch them, taste them, smell them, use them, you know? So definitely make sure that you're aware of what those new tools are. We're going to go deep inside of the tools for Pinterest. I think that's day 3 inside of the Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp. And you can check that out if you click the link above my head. And then the last reason, and the most important reason, is that you kick Pinterest to the curb. It wasn't as sexy to you as Instagram, okay? It wasn't as friendly and collaborative and community oriented as that Facebook, right? You didn't know how to really master Pinterest in your business goals. You didn't know how to align those 2 things together. So you just kicked it to the curb because you didn't know who to ask. You didn't know where to go. Well, I'm going to tell you, the Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp is going to give you the foundation of what you need. Anything else that you need after that, you have to do this first. And I'm going to tell you, I don't work with people until they do the basics first. I had someone that wanted to pay me for my Pinterest coaching. And I started to talk to them, just an inquiry call. I'm listening. I'm like, okay, tell me about your business. I'm listening. They didn't have no products, no services. and this is no shade to them, but we cannot put the cart before the horse. Let's get really strategic. Let's hone in on what it is you're trying to do. And then let's figure out what is the trajectory or the journey that you want clients to go to find you. What problems are you slaying in these internet streets? That's what we need to find out. What's your zone of genius? What's your superpower? What's your product? What's your service? We need to really hone in on these things. And once we do that, then we can start to create roadmaps that lead people directly to you. Pinterest is where we create roadmaps. Many different roadmaps that Google likes to pluck because we know Google loves himself some Pinterest. Alrighty. I've been talking to y'all. Poma, thank you so much for jumping up on stage. Courtney, I appreciate you, Queen, and I'm glad that you were able to hop in. I can't wait to see you next week inside of the Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp. Anyone who is willing, able, and available to learn something different about how to show up and get your SEO game together, Pinterest is going to be that game changer for you. Not only are we going to be talking about the foundations of Pinterest, but we're going to be talking about all the new, latest, and greatest changes that the platform has dumped on us. And I'm going to say they dump changes on us. They don't give us no warning. You just wake up one day and things have changed. You just be like, okay, this is what we working with, Pinterest. Okay. Tanya, thank you so much for coming in. Viviana, Lanita, Nicole, thank you for signing up for the boot camp. I'll see you on Monday. Actually, on Saturday, we're doing a coffee and question session. So you'll get that email in the morning. Rhonda, Dunia, Marcia, Therese, Dr. Elizabeth. If you have questions and you didn't feel like coming up to the stage, definitely hit me up on the back channel. Feel free to watch and listen to the entire replay, whether you're in the listening lounge on Clubhouse or you're watching this live on Facebook and or YouTube. I'm your girl, Paula Marie, aka the Ebony Biz Diva. The Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp starts on Monday. And it is a special session for all of the listeners that are inside of the Pinterest room and that are also watching this video. Period. Okay. I can't wait to work with you in 2022. And I can't wait to help you get more eyes on your business. And I definitely can't wait for you to be able to attract a whole new audience. What if you were to attract a whole new audience in 2022? Especially if you've changed your business model, especially if you changed, who you servicing. Come on now. I know some of y'all changed your business. I know some of y'all want to take the old email list and scrap it because you've leveled into a different plane. How are you going to attract that new if you don't do something new by showing up on different platforms? Remember, Pinterest is the only platform that is the search engine that's going to pull you in front of people that search for you. They got to type in the words in order for you to even pop up. Then they're also going to usher your pins into their email box if they haven't opted out to receive email notifications. And then the next time they log into Pinterest, the last thing they were searching for, which is you, pops back up in front of them. I'm telling you, ain't no Facebook, no Instagram, no YouTube, no none of that doing that for you. This is why we have to be strategic about what platforms we're using and how we're using them. So we're going to get really strategic. Don't forget those VIP bonuses, copy that attracts clients, right? How to convert your TikToks and your Reels into idea pins, and the 2-hour Plan Your 2022 marketing strategy session, complete with your money blueprint. Your money blueprint. We're gonna itemize the money. I don't want you to just throw some things on a calendar. This ain't that type of session, baby. We're gonna throw things on a calendar that makes sense to what's on your money plan. And if it don't make sense, it should not require time for marketing. The aha moment that I got from one of my clients when I did this last week, she said, you know what? I need to increase my pricing. As soon as I gave them time to do that money plan and I came back on with the group, she said, before you get started, Paula, I just want to say, you know what? I realize I need to increase my pricing. Something I've been telling her for a minute, but she just had to see it for herself. So we're going to get into it because some of you are moving in a way in your marketing that is not in alignment with the money that you want to make. So the upgrade to VIP is worth it just for the 2-hour workshop to understand how you're going to market your business for 2022. To make sure it's in alignment with the money that you're trying to manifest. And you get private sessions with me every day. So, all right, I am gone. If you're #replay, I hope you enjoy this. Definitely click this link and you can join the Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp up into Tuesday of next week. After Tuesday, I'm closing it down because we will have gone through too much content for you to catch up on. All righty. Have an amazing day. Go be prosperous. And don't forget to click the link above and join the Pinterest Your Brand Bootcamp. Use the code JAN, JAN 2022 to get your $20 off. And I'll see you Monday. Peace.